The sixth grandchild of Vice President Chaney was expected from his heterosexual daughter and her husband. Conservative groups would have nothing to say about that other than perhaps congrats. But in our number 3 story on the countdown now, that Mary Chaney, the vice president's lesbian daughter, is planning a family with her longtime partner, a woman she calls her wife, and has become pregnant. Even the assumed immunity inherited from her father and their hero is not saving her from unvarnished criticism from the likes of James Dobson. From his group Focus on the Family, quote, "Just because you can conceive a child outside a one-woman, one-man marriage doesn't mean it's a good idea. Love can't replace a mother and a father." From Concerned Women for America, Janice Krause, quote, "It's very disappointing that a celebrity couple like this would deliberately bring into the world a child that will never have a father." Ms. Krause continuing on the conservative website townhall.com, quote, "Mary Chaney's pregnancy poses problems not just for her child, but also for all Americans. Her action repudiates traditional values and sets an appalling example. Mary's pregnancy is an in-your-face action countering the Bush administration's pro-family, pro-marriage, and pro-life policies. She continues to repudiate the work to which her father has devoted his life." Joining me now for some comment on this, the host of the Sam Seder Show on Air America, also author of FUBAR, FUBAR, America's Right-Wing Nightmare, Sam Seder. Thanks for your time again, sir.
Thank you, Keith.
Or is this, Sam, just the opposite of that last remark, that the vice president's work is repudiating his daughter and now the grandchild that he's supposed to love the whole of his life? And what the hell does that say about the supposed superiority of the traditional marriage?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, for a guy who's willing to shoot his friends in the face, you'd think he'd stick up for his daughter and his future grandchild. I mean, you know, it's fascinating to watch these right-wingers' heads implode. My favorite quote is Bob Knight from Concerned Women of America. He says, "Their child has been conceived with the express purpose of denying it a father." And as a recent father, I can tell you that's a long way to go to put up with the hormones of a pregnant wife.
As conservative as many of the vice president's positions are, he's said repeatedly he believes is one little concession to this, that the issue of same-sex marriage should be left to the states. His spokesman said that the vice president and Mrs. Chaney are looking forward with eager anticipation of their sixth grandchild. But is that also part of what drives the conservative critics crazy, that he's not 100% on their side, but only about 90%?
Yeah, and frankly, I think that comment is disingenuous in and of itself. I mean, he should pray that, you know, God forbid anything happens to Mary after the child is born, because the state she lives in denies any type of parental rights to her wife. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so the hypocrisy is just incredibly rank, and I think that's, you know, part of it is, I think, yeah, of course, the right wing is just, their heads are imploding over this.
But what is it about this particular issue, Sam, with conservatives, the subject of gays, of homosexuality? The Ted Haggard fiasco seems to be representative of something here, the hysteria over same-sex marriage, the lunatic who shows up at military funerals claiming God hates gays, that's why the soldier died. A name I know that you will know, the late Bill Hicks, once just summed this up perfectly. He said, "What's it to you?" Just what's it to you? Do you have any insight about this obsession?
Well, I got to tell you, in FUBAR, Stephen Sherrill and I got knocked for dedicating so much space to gay Republicans. And I think part of it is that, you know, they're repressing their natural feelings, and they take their self-loathing and just project it outward. And so some of your most virulent gay haters end up, like Ted Haggard, actually getting a little bit on the side in private. I mean, it seems to be the rallying cry for conservatives at this point. You know, there's a lot of conservatives who call our show, and self-identified conservatives who say, well, I'm a libertarian, live and let live. But the vast majority of them see as one of their primary tenets of being a conservative is to hate gays.
What are the politics here? The president, who many conservatives feel was not strong enough in his position against gay rights, is out of the picture, essentially. He is a lame duck. He may be a spokesman, but he can't really make things happen anymore. Will conservatives now hold every Republican presidential candidate in '08 to a litmus test on this issue? Gay people having children, gay people getting married, and what does that do to the leading contenders?
Well, I mean, I tell you, I think they already do hold their presidential candidates to that litmus test, and that's why, you know, people are saying that Rudy Giuliani's candidacy is dead on arrival. He's just not going to be able to sell his past history of being pro-gay, I guess, to the base of the conservative party.
Maybe he can, you know, have some sort of epiphany and I don't know, throw a chair at somebody. That might
I'd be willing to bet that he does have some type of epiphany like that.
Sam Cedar of Air America, author of FUBAR, and we all know what that stands for, America's Right-Wing Nightmare. Great, thanks for joining us again, Sam.
Thank you, Keith.